Alright, John Oaks here in our Homer City, Pennsylvania location, and today we're going to go over our newest addition to our inventory, a very nice Chevrolet 1972 C10 here that you see here. Again, this car is all metal, all steel components here, even the hood here. You can see a nice maroon exterior in this car. We've got the bright body trim that goes along the top edge of the fenders, door, and the bed. Down below you can see we've got some more trim down here, but this has a nice little flair to it. It's got the wood grain inserts in it, so it gives it a nice kind of classy look for a vehicle like this. Now, as far as you know, insignias, designations, so forth like that, as far as the emblems go, we do have a 350 emblem up here on the front fender. That is, of course, what is under the hood. Of course, you have your custom 10 deluxe emblems here on the fender also to tell you what exactly the truck is. Now, in our truck, we've got the mirrors on both sides. The chrome is in great shape. The glass is in great shape too. Of course, you can see our side glass here on our doors, a tinted glass. Even the vent window and the condition of that glass is in really good shape. You won't see any chips or cracks in any of this glass. Our rain gutter moldings here, they're painted the same color as the truck. And again, inside those rain gutters, as you feel around, nice and smooth the whole way around. You can look at your gaps on your doors there, front and rear gaps. The elevations are good. The alignment on the panels, the door with the front fender, and in combination with your bed, those are all nicely aligned. Of course, you've got your chrome gas cap right there, right in the cab. And again, that is exactly where you fill that from. It has not been relocated. As we come back, again, your bedsides here, nice and straight the whole way down. Let's come around now. We're going to take a look at the bed. Now, obviously, we can look inside the bed here and see that everything has been Rhino lined. The bed floor, the fender wells, everything nice and straight. The inner bedsides here and even up at the front there, all super straight. You'll notice too that rear window up there. It's a sliding rear window, so that's a nice little option for this actual truck. All steel tailgate. Our taillight lenses and bezels, those are in great shape. Again, you see Chevrolet across the back. Again, more of that wood grain trim there on that. Of course, we've got the rear bumper there that's done in chrome. No pitting whatsoever, polishes up nice. And again, our dual exhaust here, you'll see those exiting out right underneath that bumper. Let's go ahead and lower our tailgate. And again, it's all hinged, so it's not going to just drop down on you. And the tailgate, the inside of it, it's been Rhino lined as well to help protect everything in here. So we'll go ahead and put that back up. And we'll continue our walk around on the other side. So again, all of the same stuff over here. You'll take notice of how straight all the body panels are, the condition of the wheels, and all of the trim. Again, all in excellent shape. Rain gutters on this side, same thing, nice and smooth the whole way throughout. Your gaps on your doors, everything all lines up as far as body lines. The mirrors are in great shape. Glass, again, over on the passenger side. No chips or cracks whatsoever on those, even the vent windows. We'll open this door up now. Take a look in there. Again, you're just going to notice, again, seat upholstery. No rips or tears, no fading or tears in the carpeting. There's that custom aluminum glove box cover there. Now, this does have aftermarket air conditioning in it, so that's a nice feature. Plus, it's got a, I believe it's probably one of the retro radios that's in there. It's a digital AM/FM radio. And it does have all the ports for like the auxiliary and MP3, stuff like that. So as we come around, you just have your matching emblems on the fenders for everything. We get to the front, you've got the bright work here for your big grill. The grill itself is in excellent shape, all intact. There's nothing broke or cracked on it. The blue bow tie, the chrome front bumper there too, polished up well. And then of course our marker lights down below. Those lenses are in great shape. Headlights, just your traditional sealed beam units, so highs and lows are all right here. And again, steel hood right here. You can look at your gaps the whole way around. The hood fits really, really nice. And you can check out the glass there as far as the windshield. That is all in great shape. We're going to go underneath the hood here next. So let's find our latch. There we go. So underneath the hood's been done kind of a black underneath there. That's going to help protect the underside of the hood. Everything's been blacked out underneath here. Your fender wells, the actual cowl back there. Now, as far as the engine goes, this is a 350 cubic inch small block Chevrolet engine. It's got an Edelbrock finned aluminum air cleaner on it, chrome valve covers. I mentioned that this car does have aftermarket AC. Right here's your compressor. All of your lines are hooked up and your belts are all intact, so everything's going to function well there. Underneath the air cleaner, we've got a Holley 650 single feed carb. This is again power steering, power brakes, so you see the booster here. Alternator, again, that's in great shape. Stock HEI ignition on this car. We've got Accel super stock plug wires, long tube headers. Now, as far as your intake, it's just your stock cast intake here. But as you can see, everything's been painted up really, really nice underneath the hood here to really detail it up. As far as the radiator goes, this is an aluminum Champion radiator. It does have the overflow tank here too, which is a polished aluminum overflow tank. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as our engine goes. Now, it does have the dual electric fans. That's going to help that aluminum radiator cool even more so. And then behind this, again, we'll go over this in the underside video, but we do have a turbo 350 automatic transmission behind this motor. Then, with this being a two-wheel drive vehicle only, we've got the 12-bolt GM rear end with a 308 gear in it. It is a POSI unit too in that rear end housing. So it's going to make your cruising around very pleasurable in this car. Again, you're going to have plenty of power, and reliable transmission and rear end. Plus, you've got the aftermarket AC to make things comfortable on those hot summer cruising days. So that's pretty much it. We've been around the outside, inside the vehicle, now under the hood. Now we're going to go ahead and get it on the lift for you, take a look at the bottom of it, and then we'll go ahead and fire the engine up so you hear what it sounds like. Alright, so we're standing underneath our 1972 Chevrolet C10 here today. We're going to go through this from front to back here, go over the steering, suspension, braking, the floors, frame, all that stuff, driveline, so forth. So starting up at the front, now again, this is all pretty much all your stock suspension and steering components up here. Stock upper and lower control arms on this vehicle. Stock, mount shocks here too. You've got your factory cross member here. Big cross member. It's going to give you a lot of stability up front here. And again, you can tell it's never been really banged on anything. We do have a sway bar up front here. It's got newer bushings on the frame as well as back at the control arms where it mounts. So it's going to keep that sway bar working real good for you. As far as the steering, again, like I said, stock steering components on this. All of your tie rods, which are to the front on this vehicle, they've got all the rubber dust boot covers on all of the ball joint ends. So that's going to keep all the grease in, dirt and debris out. All of your ball joints, same thing, rubber dust boot covers on all of them to do the same thing. As far as the braking on this car, we do have power brakes. It's disc up front, drums out in the rear. I did fail to mention the steering. It is power steering as well, so you're going to have a nice driving vehicle here in this truck. Now for the drive line, we'll go over that real quick since we're standing underneath the engine and transmission. We've got a Chevy 350 here, small block Chevrolet 350 cubic inch motor, and behind that we have a turbo 350 automatic transmission. Looking at our oil pan on the engine and the trans pan here, everything is all nice and dry. We do have the flywheel cover here too, so that's going to protect that. As far as the rear seal on the transmission, again, nice and dry back here. Your cross member for the tail shaft, that's in great shape. It's nice and straight the whole way across. Your actual tail shaft mount, the bushing here, that's in great shape too. Of course, you have your drive shaft, then it is a balanced drive shaft. And then we end up back here at the rear. This is a 12-volt GM rear end. It is POSI and it's a 308 gear. Now again, on the rear brakes, we do have the drum brakes. This is your stock suspension set up back here for this truck too. So you got your big coil springs, you got your lower control arms here, and then they do have a set of, looks like a little bit newer shocks on the back here, so that should keep you planted to the ground pretty well. As far as the floors and the frame on this thing's pretty incredible underneath here. The frame rail sections, those are all nice and square the whole way back. You can see nice and straight down both sides, all the way back to the rear end of the vehicle. The floors, again, can't really say too much about those other than don't really see any patching. You don't see any holes whatsoever either. You can see all the stamping lines that you need to in all of this. And again, it's been just lightly undercoated. It's not a real heavy undercoating, and that's going to really protect the underside of a vehicle like this. Of course, you've got your cross member here to where your rear trailing arms hook up to also, and of which your drive shaft travels through. Again, that is all nice and straight too. Brake lines and fuel lines are run right along the sides of the frame rail on the insides of those. And we also have the emergency brake all hooked up. So front cable, your frame J-hooks, intermediate cable, and then the rear cables back to your drum brakes. And then the exhaust system, we've got long tube headers up front, dual exhausts as you can see all the way back. We've got dual mufflers. Now these look to be kind of like a Flowmaster style muffler. I can't see a name on them. It may be turned up around to the top side, but they look like a set of Flowmasters. Then of course you've got tailpipes that go all the way back here to the rear of the vehicle. They exit right below that rear bumper. Nice little set of slash cut chrome exhaust tips there that poke out through there. Then as far as wheels and tires, obviously we've got upgraded wheels and tires. It's an 18-inch wheel up front, 20-inch on the back. As far as our tire sizes go, we've got 245, 45 ZR18s on the front, and then 275, 40 ZR20s on the back, all of which the tread, as you can see, is excellent shape. So again, this thing's going to hug the road. Plus the fact that this does have a slightly lowered suspension on it to get it down just a little wee bit. Again, that's going to make it hug the road even better for those guys that want to take this out and do a little cruising with it. So with that said, that's pretty much it for underneath our truck here. We're going to get it down, open the hood up, and then we'll fire that small block Chevy engine up to show you what it sounds like.